Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Joanne with the Jewel Design, and we are here today, back to the Altered book. Probably one of the second to last videos, maybe. I don't know, it's going to be a while after this one. I want to do something different. I wanted to cover them with something different today. But then it's taking out, I have about, 5 sections. Take it out, cover it with coffee dyed, take it out, interactive, which I think I'm just going to repeat some of the setups we've done in the past. Make a long 3-pocket continuous pocket look. Maybe do one of these setups to where I'm folding it down instead of up for a pocket. I'm folding it down for a tuck. So maybe it's a lower page pocket ordeal if I feel it's going to hold out. So things like that where I may just start, repeating some of our basics, as we get to the back here, because we are, we still have a little ways to go. We're 8 in, 8 out kind of deal. It's going to be a while. But I can't think of any massively new ideas except for like today. So I may, show you, see how things are going, but to keep moving and get this one done here soon. I don't know how many more videos we'll have on this one. It'll be today. I get enough pages out where I feel comfortable. maybe we'll do the gluing down of the cover because I've committed, and gosh, we've already spent this much time into it, right? So we might as well keep going. But it needs its cover, and the cover is made. We'll just need its topper, but this is the paper bag tissue cover we made, where we left the bag open to make a back pocket. But we're going to line it up, and we're going to carefully, God, I hope, fold it, and glue it, right? We're going to glue it down right on the spine, and then the back is going to help give us that the rest of the fluff that we need, but it'll also give us a back pocket. So one last pocket. So, we got to carefully score this and get it glued down and cover it up, but I want to make sure that I'm pretty done with this before we do it. Yeah, it's a lot crinklier than I expected. It's pretty stout. It's almost a hardback cover without being, an actual massive amount of cardboard. Gotta love Mod Podge and tissue. So, but that's something we'll try, and if it doesn't work, well, God, I'll hate it, but we'll have to pull it off and create a new cardboard, fabric cover if this one doesn't fly, if it gives along the way. But I want to make sure we're pretty done with this before I make an attempt to put the cover on and hope it withstands everything it needs to hold up to. So today, let's see. So we ended with putting on last time this lovely time card belly band. We used it as a tuck on the side here. It has pretty brads on it and all that jazz. I finally got a couple pages covered, little fold out. So you could maybe write a special note or a word or something here, and then you have your actual journaling going on. I had to get some lighter color pages for those guys. My last one though, same thing. Supposed to be light and dark, and I didn't fold it right. I'm like, oh well. But you have a tuck here. I think I'm going to do though a cluster belly band effect here, and it does have a tiny, a tiny tuck up here for a bookmark or something. Hold on, guys, one sec. Sorry, sinuses are bugging me a little bit this morning. Anyway, so yeah, that's something that I'm going to sort of want to decorate the last page of this section similar to the first page of this section. So then, last week we folded down the top of the page, tucked it under, made it a nice stout pocket. We have large journal cards in them. Took my piano pages, cut them down, put them on, a thicker cardstock, because I printed these by accident at one point. They're supposed to be pages. And we made them into journal cards. Got this in here. So maybe we'll put some clear pockets here so the ephemera, the cardstock, the journal cards look like they're floating. So they don't really block the pretty view of any of these things. So that might be an idea to put some clear pockets here, and so you can see the ephemera from top to bottom. So it looks like they're floating. And in the back, right? So we had a lot of fun last time decorating with a bunch of our laces and, bling. So today, hopefully I'm not going to sniffle this whole time. You're fine, and then you start talking, and it seems to just irritate your sinuses. I don't know. It works. That happens to me. I don't know. We'll try. All right. So, but yeah, I took out pages. I did all this jazz. I don't know if this can really help, but we're going to see. So what I want to do today is use bags with all these pretty baggies, right? To cover and create our pockets. And so we're not folding down pages as much. We are using the pages as sort of our base, and we're covering them. So I'm taking our large craft paper with white dots. We're going to fold it around 2 pages. I'm going to glue together. We're going to glue these 2 together and make it a little bit thicker. We're going to glue the bag down here. We're going to glue it down here, but we're going to open up if we need to, or fold back the top of the bag to make it more of a pockety thing. But we want enough clearance here so it's easy enough to tuck something into the back, knowing that the opening is up against the middle of the book. So normally we ask that, we suggest you always tuck things from the outside or the top, so that, it's not as tightly based. But there's no other way to do this. No matter what we do, I have this bag opening in the middle of the book, in the middle of the pages. So, what are you going to do? And then we're going to glue 2 more together. Yes. I was like, wait a minute, what did I do? Did I do that right? Yes. I'm not sure why. Why did I color that one in? I did that one. I think I autopiloted. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to glue 2 more together, so that they feel a little thicker. And we're going to glue these guys down so that we cover up here. So you have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and then we'll decorate the front. And then these 2 will be glued together, and then we're going to glue the next 2 top and bottom to do our full side pocket that we've done before. And I'm just going to do a fold down here on the back. So we'll glue it here, glue it here, glue it here, and glue the whole page together there. So we're creating a pocket, and then we're creating 1, 2, 3 more pockets in the front. So very pocket heavy, so nice, thin, easy, lightly decorated. Large journal cards will work for all of this, or memorabilia, like you can just put things that you want to, keep, tags, stubs, restaurant recipes, menus. I mean, me and my husband used to get menus from Chart House for special occasions. They'd write our anniversary or one of our birthdays on the top of the menu, and we got to just keep that printout for the night. It was always really sweet. So that's something worth, folding and tucking in as a special, thing to keep. So yeah, today we're going to use bags, and of course I've got paper left over to cluster with, and so, collage with, so we're going to be able to cover this easily, cover the top of this, and then be able to do maybe a little ripped collage, on this page to go with a potential, these are technically 4 flapped envelopes, but I think we're going to do it in a way that, goes either way. We'll do it vertical, but maybe you can open up and write on it, right? So it's sort of more of a tuck-in, height at the hole, and a little bit of clustering on here to, decorate it. So that is the potential. That is the thought process for today. I hope you're all doing really, really well. We are, middle of the week? Yes, middle of the week. I'm like, wait, what are we are? I'm like, where are we? The week's already going by, and I had to start looking at next week's schedule, and it's super busy, so I don't know if I'm going to get any videos for next week. Daughter has 3 days of internship. I have 3 meetings in a row, night after night, to go to. All high school and junior high based. I'm part of the audition committee for the high school's junior graduation. For, so we are doing the auditions for those who want to do the welcome speech, those who want to maybe sing or read a poem or something inspirational. So those that aren't the valedictorians, that aren't, it's not the principal or the superintendent, but these are the little extras that we want to make sure they are, appropriate. They don't take away the limelight from our valedictorians and things like that. But we, sort of let everybody speak, So, that's sort of that. Now, this bag is a little bigger than the book. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up on the bottom. Because I think something like this I'd want to put up on a bookshelf and either have all the yummies facing out towards me or the spine, depending which I felt was better, as long as there's some clearance so I didn't squish everything here. But I feel you should probably not have things dangling out of the bottom or sticking out of the bottom much, because unless you're leaving your journals flat and you're stacking them that way, you may want to put them on a bookshelf. So if you put stuff sticking out of the bottom, it's going to get squished, flat, crinkled. I feel it gets in the way. Personally, that's just me. So I'm going to line it up, and that way whatever's sticking out up here, we're going to cover with some lace. So that way we'll have lace on the edges, lace on the top, things sticking out. Like this one sticks out. We may have a few things sticking out over here. I do have to add, there's a little lace here, but it doesn't actually stick out all that much. I feel like it's part of the cover. I think we put some lace here to stick out, and we're going to put some lace over here. So we have another spot. You know, we got some lace, we got some lace, we got some lace. So I feel like every width of papers, we have lace sticking out somewhere. So, that is my thought. So we're gonna glue it down and line it up at the bottom of and as deep as we can on the page, which is always fun. Now, like I said, I always try to start off with my, this is actually getting away. I thought it would help me, but not really. I feel that starting with my, glue stick just gets the ball rolling. And then, as we go along, if I feel the edges are not sticking down, I go back in with my glitter glue, because it has such a tiny stick of a thing, and lets me, you know, tighten things up. So I am going to shove this in here as far as I can. I'm going to try to line it up with the paper or the page, you know, and I don't know if it's the book or the stuff, because I am noticing I'm having the hardest time keeping things straight. I thought I was finally getting a nice straight everything with the, see, it's gotta be the book, because I thought it was me, and it's not. It's the book. The book isn't cut any straighter than anything else. I think the book is just as off skew, because every time I'm trying to do something, I'm noticing that nothing is lining up. Nothing. And like, so it's going to stick out on the bottom. So everything seems to be at an angle on the bottom, along the spine. Everything. If I line it up with one thing, I have too much sticking out somewhere. I feel like everything lines up this way, and it's this. So if I'm lining it up on the bottom here, I have a weird gap, and I cannot figure out why. So it seems really weird. Maybe because it has to move with the spine, books aren't perfectly square. Because I would think the bag is pretty square, right? But if I line it up here, it's wider. I have more space here than I have up here. So it's really weird. And I'm noticing with everything I'm cutting, I thought it was me. And I tried really careful to like square out papers. Try to square these out. Like, okay, well, if that's straight, I'm going to bounce each one off of it with my cutter. And I ended up with this. And I was like, why is there such a gap? Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't perfect. But if I brought it even more to line up here, then I'd have even, you know, a bigger gap down here. And I'm like, So I'm wondering if there's an imperfection there that, like, on purpose to help with the folding of the pages, you know, so everything lays out nicely. I'm wondering. Sorry, I just realized there's a bunch of dried glue in here, which I probably will regret because then it won't stay in, but oh well. I'm just trying to keep things from, well, I need glue, but that's not how I need it. Like, I need glue, but, okay, well, shoot. Sorry, there's a lot bigger gap than I want. A lot more, that's alright. And it's not bad, it's not a bad thing to wipe the glue down the edges. It helps sort of seal everything. Yeah, I read my coffee dye papers are very, I will have no problem wiping glue up and over things to try to seal more of it and let it do its job. Okay. Yeah, that one just keeps moving. Jeez. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's see how we do here. I never know if I have glue until, well, I have glue stick coming out. There we go. Yeah, so I definitely go back and have to do a lot of like gluing around the edges and stuff because things bubble, things move. It's really hard in here if we get it too tight to stay down because that is the bend. And I'm trying not to line it up perfectly with that, but who knows. Okay, let's see, make sure nothing sticks together. Okay, well, it's down-ish before I get too far in and I get all crazy. All right, so there's that. We definitely want to glue down. Whoops, see, it's only downside. Brand new topper, and it's very tight, which is great. We're going to glue this down a little bit. Now, yeah, to cover all this up, we're definitely going to put, once it's all done, we're going to put our proper lace to cover up the interesting parts. So then I was like, okay, well, let's do this. It's going to stick out a little bit. I'm not going to try to perfectly fold it down with the length of the page, or width of the page. And so you see there's extra. And I'm like, well, Don't need all the extra. So we can cut along this line, and then maybe we will cut this way and fold it back a little bit. So we can stick a journal card in there. Like I need to make any more pockets. That's the only downside. There's so many I'm going to be designing stuff all year round just to try to fill it with ephemera. Oh my gosh. Now, how do I want to do this? I mean, you know me, my cutting skills aren't great. But we're just going to do our best because I really can't get a cutter in here. I'm going to try and cut this the best I can. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. I am cutting a little bit into that. It's still probably nowhere near enough. And then we are going to tuck it in there because it looks like might be a slice in there anyway from when I was cutting the last of the last pages that I pulled out. It's so hard. I try not to cut into in there, and then you don't realize it and you cut something and you're like, Well, there are dots at the back. Well, there's dots at the back, so we might be able to reuse it. Wherever I fold down, we may be able to get that back in place. So we won't waste that. So I'm going to just pretty much slit it for however far back I think a pocket would be helpful. I might go to that dot. Let me see. Give or take. Of course, that dot is not on the other end. Let's see here. This one. Okay. I was like, where are my dots? My so-called guides, right? So this way we can just fold it back and sort of just, sorry, nothing straight, but that's okay. Because I think what we're gonna do, because I think we're gonna leave it flat. I don't think, if it's a pocket, I don't think we're gonna try to make a tuck on top of it, tuck on top of everything. So I can use that angle, lay it out. We could even cover this up a little bit with some fabric or some paper. Like we can sort of make a decorative, like a page topper or belly band feel. But we're just going to cover it and glue it down. We're not going to try to tuck one more thing into this thing. I'm like, nope, as it is, I'm going to see if we can completely glue this down and even tuck it into this edge so that we can reinforce that potential slack of potential cutting on the page. Everything we glue down just helps reinforce this and keep it from maybe coming up and lifting. So I have no desire to make this another tuck. We're just going to make this bag is going to be pretty much decorative with only one pocket. Gasp. Okay. So I took that. I hate when I do that. I took that little bit of whatever and thinking it was going to be helpful. Where's my paper? I need a dry wipe to help me maneuver all this stuff. I have plenty of them. Yeah, it's either, all or nothing with this stuff, I swear. Gotta love the glitter glue. Okay. Yeah, it's got pressure issues. Sometimes when you get a little glue in the top and it sort of glues it in place, which is great, as long as it doesn't clump it up, which, after a while I realize that's what it does. I know our newest toppers are very tight, so it'll take my thing right off. Alright, so that has been created to make it a little easier to tuck something in here. Let's get this down on this side. So I'm not only going to glue the page, but I'm also going to try to glue the back of the, get the top of the bag so the whole thing sticks down. But here, there we go. We're taking another way to use the bags. If it fits your project, it's an immediate pocket on a page. It's a way to cover up a page, right? There's nothing that says you can't cover it up. In this case, the pages are just your bases. They are your way to create something. And, whether you are wanting to... So now I gotta figure out how to get some glue in there. Carefully. There we go. And what I'm going to try to do is, hopefully... yeah. We're going to do two things. We're going to glue some up here so it stays. I'm going to try to glue some in this corner, in the crevice down here and everywhere else. And try to make a little bit of a mess, but I don't know if my bone folder will help. Let's see. Do one or two things. We can try to tuck it in. We're going to try to press down everything we can to reinforce these bag to the page. But every time I open it, I know it's going to want to pop up. So that's why I'm using the bone folder to sort of press it down into that page, into that crevice, and hopefully reinforce it. But, which, you know, I could use it because right now we're definitely, you know, trying to give a nice cover. This is all up there. Okay. Maybe. I'm going to go the other way. It is the other way that is even harder to do because like I can see the cut right here. And I'm going to glue that down to itself. Yeah, that last page I cut out. I got a little too deep with the cutting. It happens. And we might put, I'm going to put some washi, sticky washi on this, I think. So we might put paper sticky washi here to cover up the fact that we have a lovely gap. That looks interesting, right? And also just give us a better, you know, get some reinforcement here. Because it's just not everywhere. From top to bottom, I'm noticing we have some issues here. That is the only problem I have not mastered when it comes to an altered book and getting out the pages you don't need. Because you can't leave all the pages in here. You cannot cover them all up. It, you know, you would never, I don't know, you wouldn't be able to do much with it. So by, hold on, I'm grabbing my stash of sticky washies over here. See if I have my botanical floral stuff. Oops, good one. I'm looking for florals or, you know, and I do have some skinnies. For a brief period of time, I did create a few pages of, you know, sticker washi or paper washies so that you guys could cut them out. I mean, I have them on paper, I have them on sticker paper, I have them cardstock. I have them on clear paper, but I have noticed over the time that the paper is, yeah, I have some of my sticker paper, clear sticker paper that is actually yellowing around the edges over time. I never thought that would be an issue. So, anyway, I have all these. I have botanical, I have floral, I have pinks, I have, you know, laces, I have just old world. I have a few of those. Nope, that's something else. Okay, that doesn't belong here. Ugh, hold on. Too many. I grabbed everything, but I grabbed too much. So I have to see what is going to look good. Those are all the things I haven't cut out yet. Ugh. So if I want to stick to this as our front decorative piece, I feel like it needs to be this paler pinky white stuff to go with it. Whoopsie. Let's get that covered so I don't have it dry out. I'm leaving all my stuff exposed. Bad me. Now, I don't think we want to go anything clear because that won't do us any good. So it can't be a clear sticker. So now it's not going to, I just realized those aren't going to do us any good because they're going to see the bag underneath and that won't be helpful. I do have, I just don't know how much I want it to compete. Hold on. So if we're going to do this, all you're really going to see is the square. How? Sorry guys, I thought I had this more under wraps. Okay, not really. We are definitely designing as we go. I don't think I want pink and white directly, though there's a lot of pink in that. Which, shoot, that might be fun though. I'm all pink stripes this way on a white background with this pink and green floral. Could be really pretty. And it'll look nice because there's a little bit of pink in that one. Pinky peach. That might be an idea. I'm liking that. Now, on the inside, though, I can do skinny to make up the difference. And then put the polka dots back on it wherever I put the polka dots. Oh, no, I lost the polka dot. You know, we can do a skinny and then of Old World and then put that over it. Okay, let's do old. I think we're going to stick to the Old World on that end. This side, I think it's going to be the pink. Let me look real quick. I mean, I have botanical stuff, but I don't want it to compete too much with the pretty pink and white flowers and the little bit of that gold that we got going. Keep it very light geometric, or I can go more. That has some linen behind it. I know, sorry, I'm looking at it. You guys have no clue what I'm looking at. So I'm trying to decide if, you know, with this, or with the stripes. I think the other stripes might be too flat. Now that I'm like, too geometrically flat if I do it this way. Even with, because, you know, you can see the parchment in the paper. I think we're working on that. Okay. I think we've got some ideas. Let me get that aside. Alright, so let me fold and cut these out real quick, and then I will be right back so we're not wasting time. Okay, got the basic cutting out of the way and folding, so you're not having to deal with that. So I just went ahead and used my pointy tool, which is another great way to do scoring. And, you know, scored around our square, and it is a four flap envelope, technically. And we could have glued it. We can glue this down, and we could. Well, I could just do that. I don't know whether to fold it down and just make it so you can open it up and stick something inside it, or I'm gonna glue it down, and then I think we're gonna open it up. And right now it's gonna be a hidden writing spot, for the moment. Now, as we go down the line, I may finally decide to glue one end down so I can tuck something in. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But we will glue it to where it is usable as a writing space, and if I decide to change up and make it a pocket, it's not so hard. So let's get the outer white areas inked up, because we don't need to see any of that. So how's the week been treating you guys so far? What crafts have we worked on? What are we working on? What projects? Are we doing last minute Valentines for local loved ones or grandkids, or, you know, if you're still a parent, are you doing it? Are you getting ready for Valentine's for your kiddos? Mine really haven't said much. They pretty much just buy, or want to buy with my money, presents for their, you know, the really close ones. They don't really do the whole need to have something for each kid. Like, yeah, no, thank God we don't do that anymore. There's never enough. It got to a point where we don't have it. There's just never enough in a kit to actually give one for every kid. So then you end up having to buy like two, or, oh my gosh, talk about being annoying. I'm going to try to cover this one in pink, I think. It is sticky, so I don't have to do any more glue for the most part. At least start off with, and if it just doesn't stick, then I can, then yes, I'll go add glare glue like we do with everything else. Some of these I have had out for over a year, though, so, you know, you might need a little help. These days I've been using my sticker paper for all of our branding stuff and our logos, and so I'm going through it like tomorrow. Using it pretty quickly, so I, you know, think nothing of it, but I forget that I've printed stuff in the past, and I'm like, hopefully the glue and the sticky paper is still good, right? Like I said, I'm noticing that the clear sheets are yellowing around the edges where there is no ink, so I thought that was interesting. Okay, so we're going to use this. I'm trying to see if there's a way to where we have, either way, whatever I do, and there's no really pink on the edges, so that's alright. And I will probably cut it from the back side. Yeah. So, nice thing is, because of these things are slit along the way, I don't have to put it all down at once. I can give myself a little bit of a edge where it's not all perfectly sticky, but once it is down, it is down. So here we go again with the possibility that things aren't going to be straight on, are they? So to fill that out and fix it, I'm going to let it go off the paper edge, and we're going to, you know, just glue it down, but it doesn't want to stick to anything any more than anything else does. Well, of course, I have my, I have my sticky paper on that, right? Let's see, am I off the, not quite. I'm like, oh, please don't tell me I'm off the camera. Alright, all the way up, and I know there's something left over, and I'll use it on the back side, and I'll re-stick it. Well, we're just doing everything we can to reinforce. I'm really trying to make it work, right? So we're going to cut it off on the bottom, so we don't have anything sticking out over there. And let's go around to the other side as carefully as I can. I have to get off camera for a second, guys, sorry. I need to see what I'm doing here and line it up and not lose it completely. So I'm just going to re-stick it to a section of paper that I just pulled off, so I have it for later. It won't stick. Once you take it off, it doesn't stick super well because it is a wax, but you know, I don't want to completely lose it, so I'll put it in my scraps. And the moment we can, we will use it. Okay. Oh, that's the inside. Okay, I didn't cut that off yet. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Messy, messy, messy. Okay. There we go. Okay, well, that's definitely a thick page. And I loved the ends. I didn't want to cut, and I didn't want to cut the bag down, because I really wanted that sort of finished, folded feel. And it's definitely a nice thick page in the middle of all of this, but it's no different than cardstock, you know, putting pages all over the place and doing the cardstock and filling it with something. Sorry, every time I turn around, I'm finding places that are not sticking. Stay. Makes you wonder sometimes, you're like, why are you struggling? Why? But, yeah. A glue stick is just it's a great starting point, but it definitely isn't a, forever. It's definitely not a forever thing. Alright, so we got this here, and then it'll have lace across it just like everything else. Got the pink top and bottom to help sort of finish it off. Okay. Then, I'm not going to get to those pages, am I? But you see what I'm doing. And those are not so hard. That's just a little clustering and... Yes, okay. So let's just get this puppy glued down. What about here? Now it's like one of those things that I want to overlap. And because I want it to look like it's anchored in. It has a point. But doing that means... Well, that's not bad because you lean on it. It's pretty... Yes, there's some bumpy here to write on. I always think about it for you guys, like in a sense of, you know, being able to use. And I'm really thinking it's just going to become an envelope, guys. Ladies, I should say, guys. I think we're just going to flip that around. We're going to go this way, and it's just going to open up into an envelope for a little hidden tuck note spot. Because I really want this to, I really want it to just blend nicely with the page and not be something that feels like standalone-ish. So we are going to do it this way. Put a little glue on this edge. Get started. A little end on this end. We've all done variations of this darling fold. And I try to make mine a little more square, but I think then some others, you know, I think I changed mine for some reason, variation. Some are very square, some are more rectangle. We all have a little variance in these guys. I could round the corner if I wanted to. I can trim this part off, like there's all that. But this is getting glued down, so I'm not as worried about whether or not. But we're going to do it here so it does, you know, blend. It looks like it is part of this. And sometimes I will put a string here and we put a string up here and we tie it together to keep it closed. So that is something also to think about. Or a little wax seal. So we'll decorate that later accordingly to see how I want to keep it closed. So it doesn't flap open and get bent every time we go through the page. Because that's never fun. Okay, so we're going to do here. So I'm sort of eyeballing it here where I think I want it. There we go. See, and then it just opens up and there'll be a journal card, and I probably have a small one that will fit inside it. So it opens up, there's something there. You could even, if you wanted to hide this, you could put a piece of paper here. So you could write here and pull something out there. So it's definitely a hidden pocket. And I might want to, if I want to put the string under here and not be seen. We may put a piece of writing paper here with the string so that you can't really see where it's glued. But just so it'll be written on. And be able to do that. So, okay. So there's that. Nice and clean and easy for now. Oh, that is tight. And it bends. Oh, it bends. Okay, then. It did not get tucked. Well, this is going to be... No, it's not an epic fail, guys, but it's definitely a... well, isn't that interesting? Type of day. Because it definitely, when you go to open it, it gets in the way of what I did cut off. And then it wants to bend. And then it doesn't stay glued down. So I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, they are definitely, altar books are definitely, you know, a little tricky. So, I will get in there and figure that out later. let's see what we want to do this one with. What did I say? Oh yeah, so we wanted to do something. Oh, let's see what feels like it would look pretty or look cool as an alternative to what sticks out. Like what is my, alternate. Could be dark so it stays within it. So when I put this here, we just see more dark something. Not knowing how we're decorating it. I don't think I want the yellow. I think I like the idea more of I think we'll do the world one. The oh world idea. And I'm not going to cut it all. I'm going to cut up to a certain point. Let's see, let's do that. So that way whatever little bits I have left over stay on the sheet and I'm not doing what I did earlier and cutting it off. Like, let's not say we did, right? We definitely have, we don't want to go upside down, so we need to make sure I get the white off. So that, not that we won't ink it, but make it a little easier on ourselves. And what I'll do is I'm going to stick it out a little bit to where hopefully it's going to hide the fact that we're not perfectly straight up there where I cut it. My cuts of top and bottom are a little off, so I have an offshoot of my flap is not perfectly square. But, as we're finding out, I don't think the book is square either. And I think that's sort of meant to be on purpose, but when you're trying to cover pages, there's not a whole lot of evenness to the whole kit and caboodle. Alright, we're going to ink wherever I feel we're going to see white, because I do not want to deal with white. I know I just tried to ink something. Try to ink it without inking. Let's see. But I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're having a great February so far. It's only a few days in, but it's there. It's here already. And it's going like gangbusters. Like I said, I have so much going on next week. Grad meetings and junior high meetings. And I cut it really short. Oh, cheese and crackers. Hate that. Alright, well. If I line this up, then that's off. Then it didn't do what I wanted to do. Well, that's what I get for maybe not enough prep work, or because then I feel like I have to cut more to make it on purpose. I cut it here to make it purposeful, and oh, I don't want to do all that. Oh my goodness, people. Alright, I didn't ink any of that, which is fine. It means it doesn't, show. But I could just do that. Make it just more down the middle, not really worry about it. It does blend in pretty well because of where there is and isn't. But like, these aren't even straight. Or they are, I'm not straight because I'm not straight there. So, well, how rude. Okay, well. Won't delete the I'm not going to delete the video, but you definitely get to see the struggle bus. As I believe Gail and others that we love used to say. We're definitely going off whatever we can do, when we can do it. We're going to ink this up here. Right, we're doing a little inking, even though I may be covering that with lace. We still want to ink it. You never know what shows through. Let's sort of old world this up a little bit here. Since almost every paper and page I do work on is inked to make it not look so new and so whatever. I'm just keeping the brown to the brown paper. And I do feel I'm going to do it after the fact. We'll probably put a thumb notch in this one, too, just to make it a little easier. There we go. Oops. Hey, stay. Let's get this off and get this going, and I'm probably going to let you go. I probably will not go into the next page, guys. Ugh. I think we're at that point where it is just something else. And of course, the wider it gets and the thicker it gets, the harder it is, I think, to get things glued down and worked on. It definitely makes it, continuously challenging. We'll just say that. Challenging. Let's go for a wider hole punch so that I can... Now, the nice thing is this here is pretty much lined up with this here. So I can't put this big old section in here, and I think I'm going to put the whole pocket down a little lower. So I can eyeball where I think the silver is within here to give me what I want. And if it's not, you can always go back in more. But I like the concept of that. That worked pretty well. A little bit of a thumb notch to help with taking things in and out of your pockets. And our circle punches are perfect for that. So the goal is to put something like this, a nice large pocket, right in here, right? Stays nice and tight, helps with the page, keeps it thick. I will definitely need to tie this down because it does catch on this all the time. But there you go. So you put a large something in here and you are good to go there. So there we go. We did use a bag. It can cover your books. It does. I would cover your book pages. It is possible. Definitely would suggest, you know, when you utilize it in a way where we get everything maybe a little farther out. And I will have to do some TLC here. Probably cut it with an X-Acto knife, but my thinner ones. And see if I can keep this from constantly bending every time we do this. You know, you come back and it's all jacked up. So we don't want that. So then this one is sort of the same concept. We're gluing the two pages together so they are thicker to put pockets on. And then try not to get glue where we don't need it. Oh, the other thing, you really don't have a choice. You have to sort of, your book and your glue book are the same thing. You're like, oh, that's fun. So do what you can, get it in there, so it doesn't beat up too much, stays down. Okay, so there's that, right? Got our two pages. We will strip it up here, glue the two books down, and then the two envelopes down, and then this one is going to get glued here. And because, before I do it, I'm going to put it up high, because it is a large pocket, but we're putting envelopes on the outside, or bags on the outside, I'm going to put my hole puncher to start off with, and I will redo it once I know what I'm doing. I'm going to put it way up here so that it's not in the way of any of our pockets. And I'm going to put that down. Okay, so we have our side pocket like we've had before. We're going to put bags here to make 1, 2, 3 pockets here, and then cluster the front pocket to make it pretty. And then once I've got this covered, right, so I want to get in here, I'll have to make a new notch. Once I have this covered, then I can glue this down and cover this also. And we have a pocket back here. So those are now prepped for the next stage to get what I'm getting down. I would love to show you guys this, but it'd make for a very, it's for a very long book. Okay, maybe I have enough time to get that part done. Maybe. Let's see how quickly I can work. May pause it one more time, but I think I'm just going to pick and choose paper really quickly. We're not going to stress about this. It's like, oh, we don't need to keep, stressing over every little thing. So, okay, hold on a sec. Let me do a little bit of paper grabbing and inking. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I inked everything. I picked another neutral sort of paper to go with, like, the two sides to sort of combine or work together. I'm using your circle punches, though, on a thin glassine type bags. Not super straight, not very. You want to put another piece of paper behind it, maybe, when you do it, so that it's a little firmer, and it will help with that. Now, like I said, we've been dealing with these problems. So this edge, I think I'm going to cut off a little bit because I realize it is going to stick out. Because I cannot perfectly, parts of me I realize, okay, yeah, it's doing the, trying to keep things straight, and it moves. Everything moves every time I go to cut. The paper cutter on the top moves the paper down. So when I bring the gallow down, it, definitely moves the paper. I am noticing that. So I'm really going to have to press down harder on things as I'm going. So there's, some of this operator error. Can't help it. All right, so let's see what we can do here really quickly. All right, turn back on, right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm clicking down. All right, so we're going to do a little paper collaging to help with our cover-up. Everything's inked now. But this way, whenever I cover that outer pocket or bag with, it makes our new pocket, it can be the center, the star of the page, our floral, whatever that we need. But yeah, definitely hard to, you would think, because paper is so flexible, it would be easy to, glue around edges and things. And this is only getting harder because it's getting wider and thicker and, every time I add something new. Alright, so the whole point was to put pocket behind pocket. Now this little guy, I folded this top ridge down a little bit so it didn't stick up so much. I don't think I'm going to do that with this one, but if I don't, I feel like it's going to be really flimsy. I love these bags, but they make it sort of hard for pockets sometimes. If I want to tuck something behind it, I can't, and I just don't know if I want to fold that down just a smidge or not. No, we're just gonna be really careful with it. I like the edge, I like the feel. So we're gonna take our chances. I think I'm actually gonna use my fabric tack on this because it is a waxier feel. And since we're not doing anything perfectly laid down, hold on, we are doing, you know, pocket behind pocket. I'm going to simply use the fabric tack on the edges to help us glue our bag to, and I'm not going to go super thin with it, and so that, you know, don't need a huge pocket. It's not a small bag. This one's not a small bag, so I do not need every last margin. You're right. I can be a little wider in the margin of the glue. We really want it to stick down. Because, you know, standard journals, even the biggest journal card, which is, you know, I mean, you could do a half-page journal card, but that definitely wouldn't fit. If I do my normal. Alright, so we're going to go towards the outer edges, because we now know inside is really tough, so we're going to let it sit. A little bit of a border on the bottom, but we're going to let that sit nice and snug on the outside, so that the inside is not in the way. Use your bone folder, really press it down. What I've probably not been doing enough of lately is probably using my bone folder to its full extent and really pressing everything down where it needs to be. You forget after a while. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of glitter glue, and try to get those edges that look like they're sticking up and see how they fly. And I'm going to make sure I'm still in. Now this one we do want to be a little tighter in our gluing because it is definitely smaller, so we don't want to take a chance of not being able to put our favorite journal card or whatever in it. But I want to put the possibility of putting something behind it. Now I may not. We may decide that the two up above and just the bag itself is enough of an envelope. But I want to give the opportunity, just in case. If you have the opportunity to make a pocket, make a pocket. Even if it's just so that someone can put some memorabilia in it. It doesn't have to have a journal card or a piece of ephemera in every pocket. You want to leave some room for them to tuck things into. For something they want to keep, or besides the journaling moment, that they actually can put something else in there. I personally feel, I mean, that's sometimes journaling is memory keeping or scrapbooking, and it could be a photo, it could be whatever. So I offset this too. I did put this on the outside so that even our thumb notches are not in each other's way. This thing, yeah, something big, you're definitely going to want to open it up a little bit to do what we need to do. Here we go. So another way to use the bags. If you don't have any, we have them in the shop over at Jewel Design. Not Jewel Design, wrong one. That is me, but that's the design side. Over on the Design Journal and Supply. All the links are down below. Oh, we appreciate you following, liking, loving, commenting. The reviews on the shop are always hugely appreciated beyond belief, because we want to make sure you guys are happy and you love what we're doing. All right, I wonder if this one fits. I know it's sewing. Oh, this is a sewing one. But, so you got that lovely card that fits in there. It even fits there. We'll see what happens when it's all dry, but even that fits back there, so we did good. And of course, you have the big pocket and the big pocket. So, ta-da! Look at that. So we've got large pocket here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 potential pockets here. We have a cute little envelope hidden. But yes, I will definitely have to, yeah, little knot here, tie it so it stays shut, right? So we have something that opens, you know, untie it, and you have something hidden there. We used a bag to cover up this page to make it nice and stout, sort of like a midway divider too. It's actually pretty stout, and it's almost middle of the book, and I bet you it will be, well, not quite middle, but it feels sort of almost middle of the book. So it's a nice little thick page, maybe like you know, we don't have a middle signature in an altered book per se. So that potentially is our middle sort of divider for the book. You know, all this at the beginning, we'll probably have all the same at the end. So that is a great way to give us our divider, and we're going to put lace at the top, so that is going to help even more with some extra glue. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. With its, you know, oopses and its what ifs and its, that's struggling. We did get this glued down ready to go. So all I need to do is be decorated now and stuff some more. And away we go. I will do the necessities for here. So this is all covered for more pockets. And, you know, we get to go along our merry way with all our favorite pieces. And this definitely becomes something lovely to, you know, use in all its memorabilia. I'll leave it like that. Why not? Add some color in case you see it, in case you don't. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I will use my scraps and get this all covered up, and we'll have another set of pockets. So yeah, next time you see this, it may just be for like serious decorative moments, where, you know, we're clustering up this. We are decorating that. So I'll try to get some, you know, a video or two here and there where we're actually maybe decorating a little more. We don't have a lot of decoration. A lot of these collage pages sort of speak for themselves. But, you know, we had some fun, you know, last week, and I realized I probably need to do a little bit more of this on some of these pages. So we'll have a day where I'm ready to go, and we will go page to page, and we will add lace or trim or Diamante items where we just feminine up these pages even more, and get those types of things going. Otherwise, unless I come up with a really cool, unexpected fold and work, I'm just going to have to keep working on this, I think, off to myself. So we'll do some decorating. If I'm working on ephemera to put in it, of course you'll see that. But we're coming to the end of this series until I do the cover itself. So there'll be a pause on this end, but we'll continue on, of course, with many other projects like our So Vintage, little file folder flip-flop, and hopefully many things from here on out. So love you all very much. Thank you for joining me in my, this works and this doesn't. Isn't this lovely? Something new to try, and new ways to use what we might already have in our stash. So love you all very much. Talk to you all real soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.